Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll be discussing the difference between lace-up and Velcro boxing gloves. So check it out. Hey guys, Carlo here. Today I'll be discussing the difference between lace-up and Velcro boxing gloves. This is a video that several of you have requested, and surprisingly I have never done on this channel. So I do have the Everlast Elite 2 Pro gloves in lace-up in 12 ounces. I also have them in Velcro in 14 ounces. They're the exact same model. The only difference between the two outside of the closures is going to be the weight, which is negligible for this video. Now there's three things in my opinion that separate these two gloves. The first is going to be the convenience, the second thing is going to be the support, and the third thing is going to be the safety of the gloves. We'll discuss the convenience and the most obvious thing first, which is going to be the Velcro compared to the lace-up closure. So we'll discuss the Velcro. Velcro to me is really popular with people that are just starting off in boxing for their first time. Maybe this is their first time putting on a pair of gloves, and the Velcro is very convenient, you know, in terms of being able to put the gloves on. Once they learn how to wrap their hands, they can put the gloves on and get straight to training, whether it is one-on-one with a coach or they're in a group class. The convenience is really the X factor when it comes to using these gloves for somebody that's starting off in boxing for their first time. And oftentimes, you may not have a coach with you to lace your gloves up. So you need to be able to take off the Velcro, slide the gloves on with your hand wraps on already, and just like that, you're done with putting on your gloves. When it comes to a group class setting, that's even more important because you're not gonna have anybody there to lace your gloves for you. And oftentimes when it comes to like those group fitness style classes, you're not gonna be in your gloves the entire time. There's gonna be times during that class where you have to remove your gloves to go do other types of conditioning drills. Maybe you take them off and you're doing push-ups. Maybe you take them off and you're gonna go do sit-ups. Maybe you take them off and you're gonna do box jumps or whatever you may be doing. So you may not have the gloves on the entire time. So the last thing you want is to have a lace-up glove where you're gonna have to delace them and then lace them back up. It just takes way too long and is way too inconvenient and is very annoying for all of those that are involved with that process. So that's why Velcro is very convenient and very attractive for people that are starting off in boxing for the first time. The other people that, to me, Velcro really benefits are those people that train by themselves more frequently. Those that train at home by themselves, or if they do go to the gym, they don't have their coach, they don't have anybody there to lace up the gloves for them. To me, that's where Velcro really shines, is that you can get to the gym or you're at home in your garage, you're training, and you don't have anybody to lace it, you can just put the gloves on and get to work. And that's really becomes convenient. Now, you know, in the past couple years, there's a lot of companies that have the lace converters. Lace and Loop, I think, was the first company that came out with that design, or that idea, should I say, where you can basically convert your lace-up glove to a Velcro glove, which works pretty well. There is a couple of things I don't like about that system, especially when it comes to the upper portion of the lacing, but it does make your lace-ups more convenient to use like a Velcro glove. But it's really hard to replace the convenience of a Velcro glove when it comes to that. Now, the downside to a Velcro glove is going to be the support of the glove compared to a lace-up. Now, when I put these side by side, you'll notice that the laces go up higher, and you're essentially able to really lock in your hand and your wrist higher up on the glove, which gives you more support with your hand higher up. So if my hand was in the glove right now, you can see essentially all the way down to right here, all the way up to maybe this mid portion of my palm, I'm getting that full support of the glove. Let me make sure I have it lined up properly. So I'm having it like right here, and you're essentially getting a higher amount of wrist support with the lace up. Now with the Velcro, you can see right here is where the Velcro strap is, right? And look how much of this area compared to my hand position is completely open. And you're not really getting any support right here. This is just an open palm right here. So you're essentially getting the wrist support down here. And technically, you're really not even getting the wrist support around the wrist, right? You're getting it down on the forearm rather than on the wrist, because this section right here is completely open. And it's not just this particular model. I mean, it's a lot of Velcro gloves are like that. So you do have that Velcro strap down below. Now, some companies, obviously Everlast has tried it with this, where they taper the Velcro strap a little bit higher up rather than taking a deeper cut than going up. Rival has like the wrist lock where you have that that nylon strap that comes across, that V strap that gives you a little bit more support up higher. But your basic Velcro glove will give you the support down below right here, compared to a lace-up glove, which gives you the support up higher. Now, when you look at the gloves, when it comes to the actual padding, you'll notice that the wrist support padding on both is pretty much identical on the back of the glove, on the back wrist support, as well as on the inside palm side. There is a difference though. If you do look on the back of the glove, starting right where the Velcro is, you'll notice that the Velcro kind of eats in to the padding on the back of the glove. Where the lace up, you have that full length of padding on the back of the wrist, that stability padding all throughout, because you don't have any Velcro that's eating in to the back side of the wrist padding. Where on the Velcro, you kind of lose that a little bit. So you can see the difference between the padding between these two gloves with the Velcro compared to the lace up. So in terms of the support, you're losing it with the Velcro compared to the lace up, where you get more support, in my opinion. And that usually holds true for most gloves that are a lace-up version of a Velcro glove. So you see that, the difference between the support between the two, on the back as well as on the front. When I put the lace-up glove on, I have to delace it, slide my hand in, and then from here, someone has to lace them for me. Unless you have some type of special technique that you can use one hand to lace up your gloves by yourself, you can really cinch up the laces by yourself, right? You can really tighten it down. That's not the problem. The problem is once you get to the very end, right here, is getting someone to wrap the laces around your glove for you and to lace them up. So essentially, if you're at the gym, now you have to find someone who will lace them for you. You have to walk around and ask people, and that can be kind of inconvenient and annoying to some people. But that's where a lot of pros come in. So you see, often see amateurs and pros that are competitive, right? And they're at the gym and they're training with their coach or coaches or whoever. They oftentimes will always use lace-up gloves. You usually see 9 times out of 10, if you're watching any of those social media videos, anybody training at a high level, they usually always have lace-up gloves on. It's because they always have somebody there to lace them for them. And they're so used to that. That's just basically what they've known, and that's what they've been doing for years. And so they have somebody there to lace up for them, which is perfectly fine. But not everybody has that, right? So you have that convenience of having somebody there to lace up the gloves for you, which is the preferred way, especially when you're trying to protect your hands, which are your investments when it comes to boxing. So you're able to have somebody, you basically have some, you hold your hand out, somebody goes in front of you and laces it up for you, just stand there and wait for them to finish up. The drawback to that is that when it comes to any type of cross-training drills, anything like that, if you're doing this and you're doing like a circuit, you can't take the gloves. I mean, you could take the gloves off. It would just be a pain to delace them and lace them back up, right? So oftentimes you might see pros, they'll switch out to a Velcro glove or maybe even a bag mitt, which they can take off and put back on with convenience ease. They don't have to worry about delacing or lacing the gloves. Usually once they have their gloves laced on, their entire session is going to be with their gloves on because they're laced up. So you do have that lace up right there, and you get more support lower on your forearm right here, as well as up higher. And you can see my palm is right here. So you're essentially getting that lace up and that cinching feeling across the palm. Oftentimes too, a lot of the old school coaches will do like a cinch type thing where they cinch the laces up higher down here and lock. It's basically like a wrist lock technique where they really lock in your palm and your wrist, and then they come lower and then they finish off the laces down here. So, every coach has their way of doing things when it comes to lacing up the gloves, but you do have that, and you also have the support on the back of the wrist. Again, compared to the Velcro, not as convenient, but definitely more supportive. Now, the safety aspect of the glove is, to me, where it comes in is with the sparring. When you're using Velcro gloves for sparring, there's always a possibility that the Velcro flap can come undone, and the Velcro here is very, very rough. So not only can the Velcro become undone unless you tape it shut with boxing tape, if that flap does come undone during a sparring match and you throw a punch or you miss, this basically can scrape against your opponent's skin, whether it's their face or any of their other body parts. And if you're punching hard and fast, this right here is basically like sandpaper and can cause a big abrasion and scuff. It's happened to me where it's like you basically look like you have like red claw marks on your arm from this Velcro. So that's, to me, the big safety outside of this flap being able to come undone during sparring. And then of course there's the factor of the actual wrist support is not as good as the lace-up versions of this glove. So again, in sparring, obviously you always want to land all your punches perfectly, but that's not realistic. There's going to be times when you're throwing punches in sparring and you maybe go into the body, and instead of hitting him in the liver or where you're intending to punch him, you end up landing on the bone of the hip. And you might kind of tweak your hand in a weird position, and that's where the wrist support really comes in, more so with your hand wraps, but the gloves will help. And with a lace-up glove, again, you're getting more of that support with the lace-up system. So if you do happen to land a punch and you hit them in the bone and it doesn't land the way you want it to, you get a little bit more protection and you might not end up spraining your wrist. So that's really where the safety comes in with these gloves. And same thing, when you have these gloves laced up in sparring, if they're laced up properly, there is nothing on here like the Velcro that can cause any abrasions or scuffs on your opponent. And oftentimes too, they'll lace it up and then they'll put a piece of tape around the gloves so that the laces can't come undone. But there's nothing on this glove on the palm side or on the back side that's going to cause any type of abrasion compared to the Velcro glove. So to me, if you're looking at which one to get, what closure you get, just look at your personal situation. If you're somebody that trains by yourself, you work out at home, maybe you go to the gym and you just want to hit the bag, you're getting in shape, then I really don't see a reason for you to get lace up. I would probably stick with going with Velcro. If you're somebody that uses the gloves at a gym and you're sparring and you're more competitive, it's something that you're really gaining experience with, then you're probably better off with the lace-up gloves, just because you're going to get a little bit more benefit from the lace-up in terms of support and safety than you would with the Velcro. And you also have a higher possibility of somebody at the gym being able to lace the gloves for you. So there's several factors that come into play. Some people will have two pairs. So if you have the ability to get two pairs of gloves, maybe you have the exact same model, you use your lace-up just for sparring, and then you use your Velcro version for bag work and hitting them. It's completely up to you. But those are the differences, in my opinion, between the two gloves. You know, these two right here, they're the exact same model, so the padding is the same, the aesthetics are the same. The only difference between the two is going to be the closure type. So it really boils down to you on what your personal preferences are. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys put them down below in the comments box, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.